YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is McPato and this is McPato PC. And today I bring you a follow-up video, or rather part 2. I have previously done an unboxing and overview video of the Thermaltake View 71 Tempered Glass Edition, not to be confused with the RGB variety of this case. This one has the blue ring fans included from Thermaltake instead of the RGB fans. It can be had for a little bit less, about $20 to $30 less than the RGB version, and does look very sharp. So if you're not stuck on RGB, this is a good option to save a few dollars. Although on sale, you might be able to pick up the RGB variant for roughly the same price as this one at a regular price. But anyway, we're doing the blue ring edition today. So I covered a few things in the overview unboxing video, including measurements and weight. I will say that it's only gotten heavier, obviously, with the components inside. I would say it weighs a solid 55 to 60 pounds with everything in there. Some of the heavier items I put in would be, of course, the power supply, the GTX 1080 Strix, and the all-in-one liquid cooler. Besides that, I also have 11 fans set up in the case, so that definitely adds some weight to it. Without further ado, you guys have seen the little intro I made up for this with some B-roll showing what it looks like fully assembled with my previous components. So clearly a lot of room in the case. I think it looks really good, and without further ado, I'm going to get into some of what I like about this case, what I love, and then a few items that I think you need to know about as well, which are less favorable. But I will say there's not a lot to talk about there, and it's really not that bad. Just some of the things that I've come across that some people have said they didn't necessarily like about the case. But starting off with build quality and design, I will say that from the user's manual down to the drain port that they've included at the front of the case, if you have a custom water loop installed, Thermaltake's done a really good job of thoughtfully building this case. And as far as what to include in terms of fan support, radiator support, liquid cooling support, everything is really well made, really thought out, and quality. Starting off with the tempered glass, I believe it's 5 millimeters thick as opposed to perhaps 4 as being the standard. I noted it is definitely thicker glass than most other cases. They went with glass on the top, the front, and the two sides, so they didn't put a panel on the back, for example, to cut down on the cost. It is in my opinion a premium case. The metal is very rounded. This is the one of the two caddies that are included. So I mean, just look at this. Everything is round, quality, thick metal. The carrier here, very easy to pull out. It clicks in firmly. It's got quality, and I think for myself, I'd never built in a Thermaltake case before. I will be honest, thought that they were somewhat of a lesser quality brand when compared to, Corsair, Inwin, Vantex, etc. But I have found that they are in every way compatible with the quality you'll find with those other cases. One possible exception is the plastic that they used. It's not cheap, it's not flimsy, it's actually really nice plastic. It just doesn't feel premium. It's got like a flat, soft, smooth finish. But again, it's fairly rigid. It won't break on you. It's not flimsy. So there is quality there, but the look of it and the feel is not necessarily the highest quality, but it is durable. The hardware, the screws, that kind of thing, thumb screws, they're good. They're not great. A couple times I had to sort of try to align the screws in the hole. The doors are heavy, so they've put some rubber, not washers, but inserts, so the door actually closes on the insert at the top and the bottom, and on the front and top panel there's 4 locations. If it's not perfectly aligned, you might struggle a little bit to get those in. So that's not really Thermaltake's fault, but it's one of those things. It's not super precision construction with regards to that, but it's not really a big deal. I'll touch on that a little more when I go over some of the things I didn't like as much. But if you're buying this case for custom water cooling, it will meet your needs. It is excellent. Again, from the drain port to the 420 radiator support on the front, on the top you could put a 140 in the back, 2 140s in the bottom. So you could have a 280 millimeter rad on the front, on the bottom of the case. It's incredibly versatile. I've even seen people mount radiators on where the the water cooling components would normally go. I think someone built one with a Thermaltake 360 millimeter rad with the ring fans, and they set that up right there. You could also put fans there, I suppose. So incredibly versatile. Thermaltake says they will support up to EATX motherboards. From what I've done, from what I've researched myself, that's true. But if you do that, you won't be able to use the rubber grommeted pass-throughs for your wires and your ATX power and all that stuff. It will cover that hole up and you won't be able to use it. So do note that. And it's a bit of a shame because the case is so large that didn't have to be the case. The vertical GPU support or bracket that they include is durable, it is quality, and my GTX 1080, which is quite heavy, has no issues in the case. Very firm support there. Again, no problem with moving the case and the GPU bending the bracket or anything like that. It's actually really well made. Another thing, temperatures, I'll cover this right now. Both for the GPU and my CPU are down about 5 degrees on each. I will say that I am running my CPU cooler, which is a liquid all-in-one liquid cooler. I am running that in a push-pull configuration, so I've got the Thermaltake ring fans on the top, the radiator, and then I have the Corsair fans on the inside of the case. And that certainly helps with temperatures, I'm sure, but regardless, the CPU is cooler, notably, and the GPU, despite being mounted vertically, which Hardware Canucks and other outlets have said is not ideal in some cases due to temperature increases, mine is actually down 5 to 7 degrees despite being vertically mounted. There's a ton of room for air to come in and out where the glass is. All over the case, top, sides, bottom, etc. So I think the design there is really good, and I've not suffered any issues with temperature increases. It's been the opposite. And I went all out. I put fans everywhere I could. So I've got 2 140s in the bottom, 3 120s on the front, 3 140s on the top, and 1 140 in the back. And it's not loud. I've got the low noise adapters on. It's not loud at all. It's about the same as my NZXT S340 Elite was, with 2 fans and the radiator with 2 more, so 4 fans. You know, I've got 11 fans going and it sounds about the same, and that's with the big cracks. So noise has not been an issue when using the low noise adapter. I will say or add again, the case comes with the bracket to mount your GPU vertically, but it does not come with the cable. So if you want to do that, I do recommend you buy a quality cable. I bought myself the Thermaltake 200 millimeter cable on Amazon. I'm running it in my second of 3 PCI Express 8 lanes. I've got the Asus 8 Hero, and it has 2x16 PCI Express slots, and then a slower one at the bottom, and then 2 of the singles. I didn't want to cover up my top PCI Express slot or my 1X or by 1 either, because I'm thinking I might buy a sound card at some point. But so I just used the second one, checked the performance. It's every bit as fast as it was before, so there's no performance degradation when using the PCI Express cable or riser cable from Thermaltake. And I bought that on Amazon for $34 Canadian. It was on sale, regular $39. But I would say if you're going to do it vertically like this, definitely invest in a quality cable. Other people have said with lesser quality cables that performance definitely does take a hit. So just note that. And I think one more design feature that I liked. The doors are heavy, but it's very easy to put them on or take them off. The top hinge is longer than the bottom, so there's a little pin. So you just align that top one, then you don't have to hold the door up. Just align the bottom, pop them in, and it fits great. So that is again a thoughtful design feature from Thermaltake. Some of the items that might be an issue for some people, there's a lack of power supply cover. I will probably at some point make a video of myself making a cover for it using plexiglass or acrylic panel, depending what you call it. But there's some good videos already on YouTube, and I hope to add one more good video on how to make a power supply, custom power supply shroud for anyone that is concerned about that omission. You know, and it's good this way too. If you buy an RGB power supply, you can see it no problem. And it's not been an issue for me personally, but for some people I could see that this would be an issue. The one other thing I will comment on that was notable, I did remove the top glass panel, and it has 4 thumb screws. I'll try to maybe get a video inserted here for you to see what I mean. But I took off the top panel by removing those 4 thumb screws, and then I had a heck of a time getting it back on, to the point where I had to basically align 3 of the holes and then just tap pretty hard the 4th one. It wouldn't go in otherwise. So something there isn't quite aligned. I don't know that you can expect this with all of them, but that was the case with my case here. So that is something I will mention as well. Filtration is excellent, very, very good. The bottom, the front, and the top all doing their job, collecting dust. And again, they're very easy to clean, so really good addition there from Thermaltake. So with that, I think one more thing I would have added or would have liked to have seen would have been USB Type-C on the front panel of the case. You know, it's got USB 2 and it's got USB 3, which is nice. Your headphone and microphone plugs as well, but they did not include USB Type-C. As someone who has a phone that would take advantage of that, or other devices, it would be nice to start seeing it included on cases. With that said, almost no cases do include it, so it's not like this one stands out as particularly lacking. Hopefully 2018 we're going to see more front panel USB Type-C. Alright guys, so with that I'm going to reveal my rating on this case. And it is, no surprise probably, I give this case 5 out of 5 ducks. It is excellent and really versatile. The quality is also very, very good, and I don't think anyone would be disappointed buying this case, knowing, for example, that the cable is not included for the GPU if you're mounting it vertically. And I mean, other than that, nothing really disappointing about this case. It's pretty good in every regard and excellent in most. So again, 5 ducks out of 5 guys. Highly recommend the Thermaltake View 71 Tempered Glass Edition. Thank you to everyone for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date on my upcoming videos, and we'll see you guys soon. With that, again, I am McPato. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.